Hello and welcome everyone. We are doing another interesting video on race and ethnicity. This video we are going to talk about if Middle Eastern people are white. So right now we're on the website mygeneticsmap.com. This is a very useful website to see, before we get into all this, because I'm presupposing that you guys know this already, but the way I'm doing this is I am collecting all of the coordinates for different ethnicities. One day I'm going to upload my own and see where I end up. But every ethnicity, you can get this on G25, they have their own coordinates. Right now I'm using the Yemeni Arab profile. So this is right here where I'm highlighted. That's going to be our reference sample for today. Okay? You can easily get this from Moripolis. So you see, I don't know if you can see it on the OBS here, but go to Moripolis 2026 Modern. I believe it's called Moripolis Collection Modern. You can find that. You can find that anywhere online. You can download it. It gives you a bunch of different reference samples, so it's very useful because I'm going to get into the other website that I'm going to talk about today, because you can see the genetic proximity from different populations. It's very cool. You can match different populations here and there and see where they come from and the relatedness between different populations. It's not 100% accurate because, for instance, you'll often see, Ashkenazi Jews cluster close to Italians, but that's not really necessarily the full picture. Just because, for instance, a Georgian might land closer to an Italian does not mean that they are necessarily very related. It just means in proximity to the European cluster, the West Eurasian cluster, they're a bit closer in terms of raw genetic data. But don't be mistaken. Just because they're closer does not make an Italian is an Ashkenazi Jew or a Georgian. They are different populations. They're different people, and they're not the same. Just because they are close does not mean they are the same. So let's just get that out from the get-go. So this is a very good website, like I was saying. Unfortunately, I can't unlock Europe to see the comparisons. You used to be able to do this on this website up until a few days ago. I guess you gotta pay now, which kind of sucks. I'm not gonna pay for it. I don't really want to, but it's fine because we still have the world map we can use. So let's just get into it. Enough of my ramblings. So we have the Yemeni Arab profile. This is Afro-Arab mix, so this is going to have some Sub-Saharan African. I'm just starting out with Yemeni Arabs. So if you look here, if you look at all the Middle East and Northern Africa, let's start with Morocco. And also, by the way, explaining these colors, the warmer the color is, so let's say pink, red, orange, yellow, these are warm colors. The more warm you get, let's say the more lighter colors, that means the population is closer to our reference sample. So Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Tunisia, Egypt, Israel, you want to call it Palestine if you want to as well, Syria, Lebanon, Peninsular Arabs. They are all very close to our sample of Yemeni Arabs. But if you look here, specifically talking about the question if Arabs are white, if Middle Eastern people are white, as you can see here, they're not. See, if you look at all of Europe, their distance is very far. So, talking about, okay, so we know this is blue. We know they're pretty far. But if you look at Portugal, for instance, it has a 0.2077 distance. A distance that is close would be, for instance, 0.05. That's very close. That is extremely close. But if you see 0.21, that's very far. That's extremely far. So Portugal, Spain, England, these are all of these European countries are very, very, very genetically distant from Yemeni Arabs. Look at Iceland, Norwegian populations, Norway, Sweden, Finland. These are all these are huge genetic gaps, genetic differences. So when anyone says, oh, Arabs are white, they're not. The only close populations would be the Greeks and Italians because of that Anatolian Neolithic admixture and some Natufian admixture. But you see how distant these populations are? So they are not the same. The closer you get, let's say Turkey, it's closer because there's more Natufian, there's Iranian Neolithic farmer, there's Caucasus hunter-gatherer ancestry that there is that shared ancestry. The Europeans, they are Western hunter-gatherers, they are early European farmers, and they are Western steppe herders. So that's what makes it most modern-day European. So, of course, they're not going to be related at all to these Arab populations. You see here, the closest population is Egypt and, peninsular Arabs. So that is, to answer the question, they're not white. Let's go to this website here. So what I did for this website is I took all the reference samples that you can get for all the modern populations. This is the 2026 model. And I put in Yemeni Arab, and I'm going to do different samples, so don't get your panties in a bunch. Okay, I got a bunch of different Arab samples I'm going to go over. Because there's, but this is sub-Saharan mix. What about the Turks? What about this? I'm going to get into it. So, you see here, the most closest distance are going to be the Arabs, the Yemeni Arabs. If we increase this number, so you can increase the selection sample. Now let's go run it. See here, as you get more farther and farther, you're still pretty close. It's still pretty close. As you can see, the lighter colors means that they're the closest populations. So we get more and more farther. Iraqi, Syrians. Syrians are a bit different because they're more Levantine, not super Arabic. They're a bit more different. And you see here, you start getting a lot more farther. The closest European population that we can see here, didn't miss any. Closest population is a 0.15 distance, and that's to the Greeks. The Dodecanese Rhodes Greek. Dodecanese. So yeah. Closest populations to Yemeni Arabs would be the Greeks and Italians. This is a pretty far distance. It is pretty far. Not super far like you would see an Indian. Indians would be a lot more farther, but so they're not white. Let's do another reference sample. Let's go to our reference. Let's try to find an Arab population. Let's try to find one. There's a bunch here, so we have to kind of sift through them all. Let's do Iraqi Arab. Let's do anyone will work. So we don't got to be picky about this. So let's paste it into our thing here. See, once again, no close European populations. Oh, you got a Greek one here, but it's not really super accurate because some Greeks can be mixed. Not all of them, but these ones, actually, the Iraqi Arabs are a bit more closer because they're not. Iraqi Arabs are more, they're obviously Mesopotamian. They have a bit more shared ancestry with Europeans because they don't have. A lot of Iraqis have more pre-admixed Arab ancestry before the Islamic invasions, so they have a bit more genetic relatedness. Let's put that into our heat map here and see. So these ones are a bit more closer, but once again, they're not white because if you look here, just because the colors are warmer does not make Iraqi Arabs white. You see here, the distance to England is still pretty far. France is still pretty far. These ones are definitely closer because, like I said, they're a Levantine. They have more shared ancestry with Europeans than a Yemeni Arab, because that was a sub-Saharan mixed one. So, though they're not white, they are definitely a lot closer than the Yemeni Arab profile. You see here, the closest would be Greek, Central Greece, so 0.12. That's actually pretty close. Still not white, because if you actually put in a white population here, this whole thing would be green, pretty much. So, a lot more closer, but to answer the question for this video, they're not white. So let's do one more. Let's find another one here. Let's find another one. Just give me a second here, guys. Gotta sift through all this data. I'm like a racial scientist. I'm a nerd. Let's do Georgians. Let's do Georgians. All right. Let's do anyone will work. Let's do this one. Let's just see. Okay, good. See if it. Oh, just gotta get rid of that. So Georgians, same thing with the Iraqi Arabs, a lot closer, but you see this map is still very, very, very genetically distant. What I will say though is that although Arabs are definitely the closest population in terms of being related to white people, it does not make them white. So, you see anyone coping about this, just show them this video. Crimea, pretty distant. So, the thing you can say is that they're the closest to Southern Europeans, but that does not make them a Southern European. So, as you can see here, Georgia, that's their closest population, which makes sense, because that's the reference sample we're using. And by the way, like this video, because I'm going to be doing so many of these videos on genetic distance. Let's put it in here, because, you know, we've got to be consistent. Okay, what is that? Oh, let me fix that. So you can see here, still pretty far in terms of European population. The closest ones are the Italians and the Greeks. So I think we're going to end it here, guys, because we kind of went over what we need to go over. I'm going to do a lot more videos like this. I'm going to do a ton of videos using these websites just to go over these different ancient populations. I'm going to get into ancient populations in different videos. I'm going to do more videos on this website here, which is, instead of using modern populations, I'm going to compare modern populations to ancient populations to see like how much Iranian farmer populations have, Caucasus hunter-gatherer, Eastern hunter-gatherers, steppe, which is Yamyana, Western hunter-gatherer, Anatolian Neolithic farms. I'm going to go over all the ancient populations, so stay tuned. This is going to get a lot more interesting. So, anyways, that's going to be the video. And, yeah, just like it and share it to people if they don't like it, and stay tuned.